us. All right, we are live on air. Good afternoon, everybody. We are live here Sunday afternoon. Sunny Florida and sunny Atlanta, right there where Chip Bell is. And we are delighted, first of all, to have Chip with us. In case you haven't seen his latest book, he's been authoring 20 books, but here's his latest book. And I've been diving into it in the last couple of days. But let me do some introductions to you. First of all, our audience, welcome to our show. Thank you for being with us. And let me start off with Dan Forbes. And then there you are. Welcome.
Hey, great to be with you today. So I'm Dan Forbes, hanging from Sarasota, Florida, and I have the pleasure of being the founder of the Lead with Giants community, which you can find out more about at LeadWithGiants.com, but you'll find us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, and any other new social media platform that comes out. So it's good to be with you today, Chip and Tal, and the ladies, of course.
All right, so we'll go around. Chip, it's your turn now, and looks like you're out there in your ranch area, right?
I'm in my backyard on Lake Oconee, about an hour and a half east of Atlanta, Georgia. But I do miss Texas. Tal, I miss Texas.
All right, well, you're welcome to join us back here in Texas sometime. I'd love to meet you for a cup of coffee. But
absolutely. Actually, I was there last week, working last week. Yeah, I was stayed at the beautiful Jewel Hotel downtown.
All right. Well, you know, I work at the Renaissance, so we're going to have to squeeze you in one of those.
I
know. Let's go around. Sherry, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Sherry Essner, and I am a loyal Lead with Giants community member, and I'm hanging out here from Toronto and very interested in Chip's work.
Great. All right, Carol, how's the weather in Chicago now, Carol?
Oh, we've hit a warm spell. We're up over 30 today. So I think we might actually hit 50 tomorrow. So it's, you know, break out the shorts and the t-shirts.
All right, all right. Well, I think Dan might purchase us some tickets to go visit him at some point to Florida, but you know, I don't know if that's coming up.
And of course, down, everybody else is. I tell you, the highways are clogged.
Well, we're trying to think where is more fun, the ranch where Chip is or Florida, so we'll have to kind of debate there. But anyways, and just in case you haven't done the pledge that Sherry was doing, there's a pledge out there for Leading with Giants, Lead with Giants community. But Chip, we're delighted to have you, and obviously do want to talk about your new book as well. But you've got some other stuff for us. But talk to me about what inspired you to now coming up with another book. For you are a customer service expert in this country and globally. You do a lot of service books and leadership. Talk to us. What inspired a new book into your library?
Well, I think it started with the fact that I travel all the time, and I was checking into at the airport to get my to take my flight, and it hit me that I was looking at the monitor to see if I got upgraded to first class. And I was really hoping. It's been a hard week, and I was really hoping I got upgraded, and it struck me that this was in stark. And of course, the way you do it now is you watch the monitor. If you get upgraded, then you simply board with the people in first class, and the computer generates a seat assignment for you. Mm-hmm. And I noticed how that was in stark contrast with the fact that it used to be an experience of affinity. I used to get to the gate, you know, just 8-10 years ago. I'd get to the gate, and I'd check in at the gate, and the flight attendant would say, gate attendant would say, if I can upgrade you to first class, I'll be glad to do that. And I'd be waiting around, and I was always thrilled when she called me up and said, you've been upgraded to first class, and I'd just be thrilled with that when that would happen. Now it's all about the computer, and the same thing happens in a hotel. You used to have the front desk person in charge of upgrading you to the concierge level, the fancy floor. Now it's all driven by the computer, and the whole thing was a metaphor to say, in many ways, we've lost the element of surprise, that sense of an unexpected experience. And so the whole book is about how you use different strategies, different principles, different approaches to create that unexpected surprise in the experience of your customer. So to me, it's not just about value added, it's about value unique. So, not just getting the customer to go, wow, but I want them to go, whoa, I didn't expect that.
So I really like what you're sharing. We'll dive into those 2 points. And you also share a philosophy of being remarkable, something that I did like what you shared that in the book as well. And it's so true because in the hospitality industry, we talk about this every day. It's the surprise and delight. We call those surprise and delight. That's what we do. So I completely understand where you're coming from on that. But I want to go around a little bit about the room, see if anyone has some comments or feedback to what you're just sharing and what really inspired you to write another service book. Because I think there's so many leadership books out there, but now there's a service and leadership, which is kind of combining a little bit of innovation as well. So let me go around the room, see if anyone has a question or a comment.
I have a story.
Go ahead.
Actually two. Try to be brief. There's some business relationships we have that we just have become accustomed to expecting bad service. My wife just had an experience just a few moments ago where she called our cell phone carrier to deal with an issue and was talking with a gentleman. He put her on hold, and 45 minutes later, she was still on hold. She used my phone to call in and come to find out he wasn't able to help her, and he hung up. So she was just there for 45 minutes on hold, not knowing that. But we've come to expect that kind of service from our cell phone carrier. Chip, do you find that? I mean, how does what your book says relate to an experience like that? All too often, too common.
Absolutely. I think we find an interesting incongruence, particularly in the industry you're talking about. When you call up, they usually preface it by saying, your call is very important to us. And then they give you a 45-minute hold. Like, what's wrong with this picture? But I think even more than bad service, part of my goal in writing the book was we don't get very happy with indifferent service, just pure, okay, plain vanilla service. And I think in part because customers have changed. They live in a very overstimulated, highly entertaining world. Just turn on TV, go on the internet, and it's just data overload, lots of things to stimulate you. So we have sort of an expectation that I like a service provider that creates an emotional connection that I remember. And so I don't think it's just bad service. Hopefully the book will help with bad service. But even that plain vanilla, pretty good service is what I want to focus on.
And Chip, you've got 9.5 principles in the book that you share, and I can't tell you, it speaks to my heart because I've been in the industry for 18 years, so we talk about these things every single day. And reading your book, it's like reading a service Bible for our hotel. So walk us through those 9.5 steps a little bit. Maybe we can chime into the dialogue a little bit. But what do you think maybe some of those are more important than others that we need to highlight on and maybe talk about a little bit?
Well, the first one is, I call it the Cracker Jacks principle, and it's all about the element of surprise, which in many ways is the whole theme of the book, and that's why I started with it. But if you remember, we love Cracker Jacks, not because it was great caramelized popcorn, which it was, or it came in a real cool box, but it was that prize, and we never knew what we were going to get in that prize. And the metaphor of that is the fact that great innovative experiences are the ones that are simple. They don't have to be champagne and red carpets and helicopters. They can be just little simple things we do that cause that customer to be unexpectedly surprised. So that's one of the key principles is the whole element of surprise, the Cracker Jack principle.
Great, and I want to have our ladies participate in the discussion as well. So start with maybe Sherry. You want to share some thoughts on the service elements Chip is sharing with us?
Well, I actually experienced a Cracker Jack surprise in the fall. It was my husband and my anniversary, and we went out for dinner to a restaurant. And it was a nicer restaurant, and they said, are you here for a special occasion? And we said, it's our anniversary. So, of course, they gave us the, dessert. happy anniversary, and we thought that was very nice. And then they emailed us after and thanked us for spending our anniversary with them, and sent us a coupon to come back again. And I was like, whoa. So I was very surprised by that. And so I emailed her back and told her that. And then I wrote a nice write-up for her on Yelp. So, because she deserved it.
That's great.
This is one of those things that Chip was saying. You don't go wow. You go wow.
Yeah. Whoa.
It's like, whoa.
So it's great experiences. Carol, would you like to chime in also into the conversation as well?
Yeah, it's interesting because I have teenagers. Well, one's a teenager, one's no longer a teenager. He's graduated to adulthood, I guess. But when the younger one is a Boy Scout and they go out and they sell the popcorn and they stand in front of the grocery store, or, Home Depot or wherever it is they're selling, and we always pushed our son and the kids, if we were there, to make sure no matter what answer they got from the people when they said, would you like to buy some popcorn, to say thank you and have a nice day. And the funny part about it was, and our son learned this real fast, was if he said, thank you, have a great day, even when they said, no, we don't want any, they would reach into their purse or their wallet and pull out a $5 bill and give them the money, which is a better deal because the troop got that straight up.
Right.
They didn't lose any of that. But you could see people, particularly sometimes the older generation, some of the older folks who were, oh, these kids are a nuisance, when the boys would nicely say, well, thank you, have a nice day, they would pause. And they were having that kind of surprise moment that, wow, wait a minute, these kids are being polite and nice. So it was a really fun lesson for our kids to learn and to see the impact of something that had become, I guess, it was common for people not to say thank you. So I totally get what you're talking about, Chip, and we really need to get more of that into the customer service that we're experiencing as consumers.
I agree.
All right. Well, what we'll do now is conclude our first segment. So we're going into commercial, as they say, and then we'll come back. So stay tuned for our sponsors. Hang on tight there. I'm going to stop the broadcast here for a second.
Hey, Tom.